Real estate in Moscow is some of the most expensive in the world. Buildings like these, once worth practically nothing after the fall of communism, now cost millions of dollars. And some people will do practically anything to get their hands on them. In Russia's rough-and-tumble business culture, it is easy for corrupt officials to take advantage of legal grey areas and corrupt courts to seize property, a practice known as raiding. One of the recent victims of the practice are the residents of this house on Rождественский Boulevard, namely the family of Mikhail Shulman, whose blogging on the problem has given birth to a group of civil activists. They've joined forces to protest against the raids. The collective is made up of a number of Muscovites, each facing their own battle with property raiders. Mr. Shulman has been fighting for 6 years for the attic of his house. It's currently occupied by a private company, which he says is linked to corrupt city officials who have expropriated it using fake documents. He has been to court multiple times, but says the judges are on the side of the bureaucrats. However, blogging about his fight has made a big impact.
Благодаря интернету люди смогли организовываться горизонтально. И это сейчас наша прекрасная защита от этой страшной вертикали, которая не пускает свободных людей заниматься своими собственными проектами и жить по закону.
On returning home one night in February, Mr. Shulman was attacked in the stairwell of his apartment block. His assailants didn't rob him. Instead, he believes, he was being punished for making a stand.
Это такие 3 сокрушительные удара, вот я запомнил. Но чем я не... Здесь было темно, я не видел. Все очень быстро произошло, то есть в несколько секунд. Ну вот, собственно, все, что могу рассказать.
Shulman insists that the beating will not prevent him from continuing to raise awareness of the problem.
Мой блог привлекает тех людей, которые столкнулись с рейдерством. Достаточно много людей просто обращаются, рассказывают. Я в другом городе, где-нибудь в другом регионе, в нескольких тысячах километров от Москвы, имею ту же самую ситуацию, что вы.
Real estate analyst Denis Sokolov says that raiding is limited to old buildings, those with common spaces subject to legal grey areas. He says the practice is driven by the astronomical prices in the center of Moscow, and these will only grow.
Russia is a very centralized country, so everything is administrated from Moscow and all the money are coming to Moscow. So that is why real estate of any type, residential, business, is in very high demand.
Tatyana Lebedeva is another victim of raiding who has joined this virtual network of activism. She heads an association of raiding victims that unites 101 households in central Moscow. She says they haven't registered officially for fear of reprisals from the city government.
Только мы стали каким-то официальным органом, нас просто замучают всевозможными проверками, какими-то комиссиями, ревизиями.
For years, she fought the city administration and won a court decision in her favor, largely because of her members' support. They attended each other's hearings and collected signatures. Judges are fairer, she says, when the courts are well attended. For most Muscovites, corruption is a fact of life. Even the influential and powerful can fall victim to groups of unscrupulous low-level bureaucrats. This pre-revolutionary house, for example, was the first luxury real estate for sale after the Soviet Union collapsed. Yet even its influential residents could not prevent raiders from seizing the basement.
Такая очень любопытная особенность вот этой низовой российской коррупции, которая происходит на районном уровне, это то, что с ней часто ничего не могут поделать даже люди, обладающие огромным влиянием в масштабах всей страны.
Ms. Lebedeva says that petty corruption of this type was one of the reasons Muscovites took to the streets to protest against the government last winter, and discontent is spreading.
Пытались им объяснить, что вот такие мелкие чиновники, средние чиновники, большие чиновники, они сами своими чудовищными противоправными действиями, своим наглым цинизмом, они формируют из нас простых жителей, простых обывателей, простой домохозяйки, они формируют из нас граждан, они формируют из нас оппозицию.
More and more Russians are organizing to fight against corruption, she says, and more, it seems to be working. Yulia Taranova, Financial Times, Moscow.